Rings. Maybe join us. So I'm out here in the boonies, Orlando again uh, for something. I don't know what. Clear energies. Yeah, last time I was out here, I was worn out completely. This is a lot better, especially after yesterday. I'll go into that. Um, so, um, so this message came through. Well, the title came through. War on Earth message from the Felines, which I don't normally have a title like that. So this is something. Uh, timeline hold. Timeline hold means like we feel like we're not going anywhere. Oh, I the Queen of England has a strange hat and walking around, wearing that ridiculous. Anyway, I do feel like that. I don't know. All these systems need to start falling down eventually. Not soon enough. And Jupiter's moon channeling. So Jupiter has 79 moons. So we'll see where that goes. I think I just saw like an orb. Depends on what the lighting is and everything. Get a little bit so situated here a little bit. Okay, and there's a night outside light. So it's a little thing there. Yellow there. So anything else? Oh, I came unprepared. What I forgot about this. So what the future holds is still just we're just slow moving train basically. Anything else in life? And I forgot to set this all up. Let's do this real quick. Or not. Okay. All right, we'll just do that. Ooh. Oh, come on. 1 second. Oh, that's right. They moved everything around here too. And I guess it'll work. Maybe. All right, this is ivantalk.com. We have prep sessions. Shop here, I'm on the 29th. Same situation here. We have the webinar sign up and a social network. We'll just leave it at that. Just a little bit of an update because the store, the shop, not rapid speed, but we're making some kind of progress. Not as slow as I usually am. I think I just saw something there. Anyway. Okay. I'm still trying to get situated here. So, okay. Anything going on in the world? No. Just keep riding the wave. That's all I can do. So, all right, War on Earth, message from the felines, and we'll move on from there. If anything else comes through, we'll see. Business as usual. I do see the alien energies. Once again, if you're, there's also to go real quick. Like beings to be seen here, and for us to go on our awakening. Um, there's a timeline for sightings, and of course, you're seeing some of that here and there, but it's also for individual connections. That's happening, but at a level where you actually feel the being in another dimension reaching out to you, which I've had a couple of those. Nothing recently. I haven't had anything like it's been a long time. Past 2 years, maybe 3 years now. Not that matters. So, well, they do that to let you know that you're on the right track. You actually feel like there's another being there. So, and I did an interview of that. I had that. I was at Universal. I actually had a being. The first time I ever like felt it another dimension actually talked to me. You could feel the energy coming from it. It was like a being was like standing there. I didn't really see who it was, but it was like the happiest being ever. It was a Palladium being talking about alien disclosure. And then I did an interview about it, which was not too long after that. And then it got buried. I wonder why. So we are on to something. So uh, just those that are burying that stuff, yeah, their days are coming. I believe spirituality is going to change dramatically. Where it becomes more like something out of science fiction, but it's more science truth. It's actually real. I mean, we actually start to so those high vibrations I was talked about, which is fine, but actually feeling these. We have a galactic story going on here. We're just not aware of what's happening. So for now, at least. All right. And I think anyone that connects to this stuff, you might not be able to prove it, but if you actually feel like it is real, then what you feel in your heart is real, then nobody's there to deny it. People will deny it, but if you feel like it's real, then follow that. I believe there's more truth out there than people want to realize. Sometimes it's just too crazy. People don't believe it, which is understood due to what we're living in right now. Uh, but that's going to change eventually. Somehow, we're just not getting the proof. You get the connections, but you don't get the actual proof because society is just not ready for anything. But you never know. Who knows? All right. Blessings. Here we go. Yeah, actually, I feel like they pulled back quite a bit. I mean, the beings are here, but I mean, like for disclosure, like major league disclosure, they pulled back. I mean, they'll give a message, but actual disclosure, yeah, yeah, I want to quit your day job. Uh, just yet. All right, blessings. Greetings. We are the Felines. Yes, believe whatever you wish to believe. The truth is still out there. Is this sometimes? Yes, the truth can be so difficult. Where the third dimensional point of view is just doesn't. The higher dimensional knowledge that's here just does not stick. So higher dimensional beings have always put information here for your awakening throughout time, throughout thousands and thousands of years, for you to at least know more about your world. And of course, that has been shut down. Information has been destroyed in the past. Even some churches had alien knowledge, and those are destroyed also. We have alien wars to just erase what is here. So you can say in your past, there has been everything that is going on here has been mentioned in some form or another. But of course, then war breaks out and everything goes away. They would call it mythology, as you would call it. But much of that mythology has been lost of how not just Orion beings, but assortment of beings have caused difficulties here. Yes, to was a nice word of saying, take your Earth's resources, rip it away, rip it all away, for you to not even know yourselves. So yes, it's a challenge. Worlds that become like a prison planet are worlds of higher dimensional beings. They send everything they got to incarnate, to explore, to assist, to take their soul into a whole nother direction. This planet is one of the top ones, not the top, but it's one of them. But it's enough, isn't it? Well, it's just that there are other planets connected to yours. So many. And this is what you call your Earth's origins, where you come from, will slowly be revealed. It's not revealing itself yet, but as you're allowing more of that knowledge to come to you, because it'll come straight to you. A channeler might be able to open the doorway up just a little bit, but you're not feeling so scared. But of course, your environment is not allowing higher dimensional knowledge to come in just yet. Like building a ship with your mind, a spaceship, which is you are capable of doing so, but of course, your reality says you need a screwdriver instead. So you're going, yes, you're really, this is what many, even the spiritual communities, not all, but some, are absolutely terrified of leaving the physical realms altogether. And yes, it's like this physical realm is like an old bookstore. And people like physical things. They like the physical body. They like, and it will be around. And there's always going to be a form of physicality. It's never going to go away. But some just cherish this whole experience. It's like having a book, an old book. People are just like physical old things, especially antiques. Those that have antiques are holding on to the physical realm as hard as they can. But of course, you are living in a physical world, so it's understood. But the earth has to graduate eventually, because the earth's lessons can only go so far. And this is why many of you incarnate here to say, you've had your fun here. It's time for things to start changing. And a lot of the many of you wonder why you come here actually bring an expiration to some of this reality's dealings, like a physical car. Like as your earth goes into a higher frequency, well, first off, you won't need a car. But if you need one, well, this world is going to go more, yes, more higher frequency because it's had enough. It's been through the physical for long enough. Other planets are at a lighter vibration. They're still physical. They're the ones with the flying cars. Your world, well, anything is possible. I believe the main thing on your world is just to remove a lot of the manipulations. So us as a feline vibrations, we are, yes, very connected to your origins, of course. There's different origins. There's actually Arcturian beings that feel like you're part of their origins. There's felines, there's canines, and so forth. You're connected to all these different realities that are not being revealed just yet. There's also galactic wars that are here, hidden wars that are not mentioned here for various different reasons. The war, is the control of the mind. So you're not going to leave this physical realm anytime soon, but you are here to heal it. You're here to bring in a new era of change where this physical realm, where the body can be healed even faster. But the way for the hot body to heal faster is for these problems to finally let go. One other reason why people, as you've heard, make the same mistake over and over again. Well, some of it is just to keep this reality going. It's like they like the body, they like their looks. It's like being on a merry-go-round. You don't want to get off. So they incarnate over and over again, do the same thing because they self-sabotage, because they unlearn. Now they might learn, or they're just difficult to learn because they like the journey. But that's why many of you incarnate to hear say, you don't have to go through these problems anymore. Here's a download. Here, you can improve a great deal about yourself. And all of you are always getting each other's downloads, even if you're not fully aware of it. Now, you might reject that download, possibly. But your disclosure here is letting the third dimension, of course, let it run its course. But as you speak more in higher dimensional energies, more people channel you, agree with it or not, it doesn't really matter. It means that the physical reality is not necessarily coming to an end right now, but over time, basically what built up the the tower, the temple of the body is finally letting go. Now, where this physical body is not, well, obviously you're not going to be leaving this anytime soon, but it's not going to be the same. And even some of you, um, when the earth really begins to shift, will, yes, be able to shape shift and turn yourself into a feline to a certain degree. Whereas you have feline fingernails and more hair on your arm, and then shift out where you're just back to normal again. I mean, there is some of that now, but they shift and then they just hang in there. Uh, Especially those with a lot of hair. You just don't do it. You shift it, but you don't go back. Some might a little bit. Well, no, some do shift into the reptilian self, as some people have seen, but that's on a more fourth dimensional level. We're talking about more of a physical level, where you can still alternate this physical body. But the idea is to also heal the ailments that are here, which you're not fully into that phase yet. Well, for that to work, there is problems. People just have to let go of a lot of things. Like the family energy has to be healed. The family, for some, is like a nuclear war. It's like you go to any family event, you feel like the neutron bomb was just dropped. When the family starts to heal itself and recognizes their problems, which many do not want to see that they have problems in the family or just ignore it or play sports. Sports is a diversion. Yes, healing energy, but also diversions, divert, look away. We're going into a time of basically this third dimensional level is no more. But of course, you have great time for that. The timeline energies that are here are kind of like a computer program, but the higher dimensions, where you are planning your existence here. And other programs hit each other. They cross into each other. So there are main timelines. So some of you are waiting for timelines. It's like you're on a highway and you're waiting for that timeline to have a ramp for you to get on. And either you want to move, get a job, whatever it is, you're waiting for that timeline to open a door for you. Like you have a house that you want, but you're waiting for that timeline to open for you to get that house. Or you might feel rejection, or you just said, I don't want it anymore. Everything has a timeline. Every state, every country has a timeline, obviously. But for you to reach that timeline, over time, things will make more sense, especially if you're trying to go to another state or country, you feel like some of the old things that you have are letting go so you can go there. Well, it takes time for that to build. But some of you are also timeline builders. And you wonder what you do in the higher dimensions. You wonder what the spirit world does all day. Yeah, they're almost like elves. Where they're designing timelines all day long. Of course, they don't have time like you do, but there is a version of time. They have to experience time to a certain degree to know how it feels to live it. And when they create a timeline, it's like they're connected to your realm, your reality. So they feel the fear, they feel all of what you're going through. It's like, God, I don't know how it's like it was like being hit by a storm of insecurity, unawareness. And a lot of spirit beings don't want anything to do with this planet. They'll just go be a star or a tree somewhere on another world. I'm a tree on another planet. I'll send energies to your planet, even from light years away. There's a lot of that going on here. But yes, of course, there's many brave souls here, but some do get trapped in the physical thought patterns, think things are never going to change. But even the spiritual community is going to have a major awakening. Well, some have become, yes, spiritual, arrogant with it. Well, because some become successful in spirituality. So they feel like they are the know-all and be-all. They also become gatekeepers. Well, they also found a way of getting funds and having all these contacts and all that. But that can only last so long sometimes where that is no longer. It's because that can go as once what you are popular and now you are forgotten. So expect, yes, much of your spiritual groups to have awakening eventually. Well, for the true knowledge to truly come through when alien ships finally do connect to human energies, well, realize that as alien beings, we are kicked out of a lot of spiritual communities. Those of us to tell you how it is, because we're not welcome. Because someone to see the highlights, the positive vibrations. But there is, yes, a reptilian agenda. There's many agendas here. A lot of it is a politician. Politicians are like drones. They're like puppets. Your religious leaders, to a certain extent, leaders, a lot of them actually lose a lot of their soul, their power, when they take that position, depending on who it is. Not to name names, but when you become like a very influential spirit religious leader, we'll just use that for example, you can take that template everywhere you want. When you become a spiritual leader, you, depending on what kind of spirituality is, if it's there to manipulate society, as most of it is built for that, the soul actually loses itself. It's like, it's kind of like you're a boat, but you're not the captain of the ship anymore. You're not in control of yourself anymore. Other individuals are. So you have a huge audience, but that person speaking on a spiritual, now this can go to the spiritual community too, this can go to anyone. Is that it might look and sound like that person, but is there something else talking through them? Is influencing other, meaning that's just a vessel. And there's other beings there to misguide, which is usually the case on your planet. It's those that are running your planet, some are higher dimensional controller beings. They know how this works. They know the engine of this reality. They know how to turn things on and turn them off. So they know how people think. So those that are very popular, yes. Are they what they truly seem? Is it because that a certain person of what their looks and what they're saying is just voodoo on the people to keep this control system going, which is exactly how they work. So yes, of course, there are feline wars here. There's all types of war. War was once again for the mind. Yes, their spiritual leaders are looking at all this aliens information. Some of them see it as a government psyop, but also some are terrified. Not that they're going to lose their position anytime soon. No, because they have fear on their side. Truly, true fear. Religion, some religions, not all religions are like, but quite a few of them are. The souls that are in that fear energy, now if they continue with that fear, will reincarnate into another fear reality. So are they truly ready for a higher dimensional experience? Some are. A great meal. Yeah, it's like if you die in chaos, don't you go somewhere where there's more chaos? It all depends. Some can find enlightenment and peace, but some don't want that. Some want more challenges. They want more darkness. So when they leave this world, they go somewhere that's more intense. It doesn't necessarily have to be hell. Of course, that's all in perception of how you will view that. It's like this one isn't wild enough. I want to drink 20 beers at once and not get drunk. I want to drive a car into a building and survive, things like that. And a reality where I feel like I'm in more control of my reality than here. It goes on and on. There's just a lot of souls searching here. So, Greetings to you. We are, yes, Jupiter moon consciousness. Yes, we are the eye of your world. We see it all, as other planets also that don't usually speak about much as here. Yes, you are part of an awakening. Realize us as planets can retire timelines. So there is a war. Actually, Mars, for example, Mars is the war planet, correct? So you see the West war. There's still war here, but it is kind of calming down a little bit. Of course, many are still trying to push those war drums. So Mars, you can say, yes, did bring war here in its own way. Not always going to be the clearest of how it went about it, but it's another element to keep your world in the physical. So Martian energies was used on different levels to enhance the human, but also to control it. Well, and one of the reasons is many beings saw that war did it make this body more complicated, confused it more. It's like I don't know what to believe in anymore because the chakras have been hit with so much negativity. When you're incarnate, like when you incarnate as a child, of course you have baby talk, but if you can talk normally, or if your family is telepathic, it's like, okay, this is how the world is. I only have a certain amount of time until I become human. Here, this is reptilians are doing this, beings are doing that. Go to this place, and you can unlock the secrets. This is the keys to the Vatican, and so forth. Obviously, a lot of that's blocked, but maybe not forever. Like when a newborn is born, and all of a sudden it's telepathically talking to everybody. It's like, wait a minute, is that kid talking to me right now? Right now, that would scare the hell out of people. Now they do talk, telepathically, but they kind of careful about it. But when you have a newborn baby, all of a sudden talking to you is like, okay, there are beings here causing this type of difficulty. I don't trust this doctor. And Aunt Mary, needs a hug. That's going to be your new world eventually. Yes, secrets of your Vatican. Now, there's a possibility of that. Yes, newborn just told us about the secrets of the Vatican and how to get into the place. For example, so when war starts to be pulled back even more, it shows the Martian agenda timeline is over. Now, Mars, you might end up, yes, going back to Mars and reinventing because that planet is over. What has been built to is built to shut this world down. You say it was designed a long time ago. You can say Mars' demise was designed to, it was built to shut down planets. They didn't know, I don't believe at the time, which one they're going to shut down. But when they found your planet, as they invaded your world, their world went to extinction. Now you can see that however you want. You can take any version of your mind, but Mars plays a big role in why your world is the way it is. Yes, it had to deplete itself of its energies. That was the most. You can say that other planets have too, but Mars did it the most. You do have some melodic energies too. That's why some of you are very psychically connected. A lot of your intuitives are melodic beings. Some of them are very connected to the oceans. Fairy beings are connected to. It's not going to be the most clear at this time what they're connecting to, because melodic people are kind of taking things quietly. But the melodic people, from our perspective, help take down Rome. Like Rome is too evil. Of course, now you have your Catholic Church, and that's a little bit worse. But at least it's spirituality, even if it's all impossible to understand. And yes, of course, your spirituality was manipulated through your Anunnaki to make things convoluted interpretation. We can say all channelings are interpreted also. Well, because you all have different points of view. What's your point of view? Now, channeling does open up, unlock secrets, knowledge, but do people want that knowledge though? For example, some, yes, spiritual people do get a little bit biased. It's like that person's healing themselves, but we don't believe that person's channeling that right. That's not the right person they should be channeling because we know everything. Yes, spirituality has created its own dictatorship. It's there, it's on how you look at it. And the dictatorship is fear of the alien beings. That fear you start to see through their illusion that they created here. It's all part of, yes, your movie that's been invented here. But if you start going against authority and you become, yes, radical, rebel, whatever it might be, these, yeah, because a lot of the spirituality, so there's gatekeepers in all spirituality, all religions and everything, history, gatekeepers there. And some of them actually admit it. But some of you are here to just push all that away, like the Wizard of Oz, who's behind the curtain. That's what many of you are doing at this time. You feel that within yourself. We're tired of what we're being told. We want to see what's here. And you might be in a minority for right now. Over time, you'll become a majority, but not in the ego sense of it. Like now we have all the attention and we're better. It's none of that. It's just getting more of what's really happening here. Because some say the truth, they say those truth words, but what version of that truth is out there? Is it the manipulator's truth? Which they have a lot of truths. The truth of keeping you isolated here. Where Prison Planet word is that they don't like to say that. Just be positive and take it. And many of you are here to just push back the curtain and see who's really running this show. And that irritates a lot of these beings that are here. They hate that. And many of you are here to push buttons, not be liked by everybody, but to here to see what's really here. And we do see as a high possibility of that happening. You might see insectoid beings. Some of you are known to irritate alien beings on a level where sometimes you're calm about it, but then it's like, oh, did I just make that alien mad? Because that's another reason why sometimes you have contact. Yeah, they know more about you than you know about yourself. But when they see you, they get mad. Some of them, they can't hide their anger. And all these beings that are keeping this facade up, as you keep searching and figuring things out, they just sometimes they can't take it anymore. They do attacks, they do everything they can, and you still persist. So over time they have to give up. Well, because they can't continue this anymore. So you start to see the alien truth and more knowledge and downloads that come through, where most of your collective belief probably not. Doesn't mean it's not true. It just means your collective is still in program land. And that's a lot of it. There are alien beings, Anunnaki beings that are sometimes absolutely humorous of their just psychoticness. They lost all forms of reality. They don't care. Until you start seeing, there's some of you who have worked with them, see these beings that are controlling the society, you come here to them. You have their knowledge with you, those that are controlling society. You come here to unlock the doors that they brought here. They shut everything down. You're here to open them little by little. It's happening now. It's not happening at a level of speed as you'd like it to. Because they unlock things and they close it. But you are finding ways through this reality. And yes, the beings that are controlling society are going to they're going to do everything they can to shut things down. They're going to try. They're getting more desperate. We're just going to leave that word out there. They're getting more desperate. So expect more spiritual nonsense They continue. That goes nowhere. But I'll have a lot of attention though. I have a lot of views, a lot of attention. It's like I'm not really getting anything. But this person has a lot of attention, so they must know what they're talking about. Not always. It's just one of the facades they're putting up from astral to keep you in this bubble.